Welcome to Horns Up. I'm Animesh.
And I'm Peter. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but here at Horns Up, there's the one and only Kelly fucking Shaefer. It's a huge, huge honor to have you on the podcast, man.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. We still haven't yet to be able to come over to India, So always a pleasure to see what everybody's doing around the world.
Yeah. Now, we got this chance because of your new band, Till the Dirt. We first heard about the band last year because, and not to divert any attention, we were researching for an episode we did to celebrate 30 years of Unquestionable Presence. And back then, I think there was only a couple of Facebook posts. There wasn't any music release as such, just the name and the intent about Till the Dirt. Can you share how Till the Dirt was born? How did the idea itself come about? How did it take life the way it has?
It happened really accidentally during the first COVID lockdown in the early part of 2020. I got set up with a little home studio, and I was able to start logging ideas for Atheist and on guitar. So I logged about 2.5, 3 hours worth of material. And then I was just learning how to use this recording device. The tuning for Atheist music is in 440. So one day I just came in and tuned my guitar down to B. Tuning down that low automatically made me start writing differently. And so I wrote a whole bunch of songs in a short period of time and did the vocals on them. And I could just tell that they were definitely songs that were not Atheist. They were just completely different. And I almost lost you there. And so I just kept, I sent it around to some friends and got excited about it. And I can't tell you how organically it happened. Just, it definitely didn't intend to put together a new band or any of that. I was just going through what we were all going through. I think with COVID, it was just such an unknown time. And I had a lot of time to myself. Obviously not being able to have any sort of other people around to write with. I just ended up writing everything myself. And then I invited guests in later to, do solos, and had Steve DiGiorgio come in to do bass on a track. And so, it was a lot of fun. Just, I love when things happen like that, that's the way the best music happens. I think that, where you're not trying to fit in, or you're not trying to do anything other than create how you feel, at the time that you're making it.
Now, Till the Dirt is all set to release its debut album.
Yes, sir.
Outside the Spiral, which is going to be out on Nuclear Blast on the 25th of August. Is there a strange sense of deja vu with you, it being its debut album? Do you have butterflies, or it's like just a normal day for you? How do you feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's first of all, it's actually the first record I put out since Jupiter 2010. So it's been 13 years since I've gone through the press and everything you do for an album. So I'm as excited, if not more excited, than I was when I was 17 years old, and it feels like a completely rebirthing sort of experience. I'm obviously not in my 20s. So it's, I feel very, very lucky to have this opportunity to go through this feeling again. It's almost like having a child when you're really old,
So obviously, the elephant in the room there is the fact that you have so much more experience. Does it help quell the nerves in a way?
Yeah, I think that.
Do you know what you're doing now?
Yeah, I know. I definitely, understand the business a lot better than I did when I was a young man, and so I think. But I tell you what, it's a completely different business than it was when I started. With streaming and the way records are sold these days, and the way music is consumed is just far different. So in many ways, it's like a learning curve for that as well. So I'm getting back into understanding the way to market and get your music out to people. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all I care about. I just want to hear. I like to make sounds, and I like to get a reaction out of people by making those sounds. And that's my favorite part. Doing stuff like this, talking about metal, is my favorite part of being in a band. You know what I mean? Just talking about music, to people that give a shit about it, and playing such extreme music my whole career. It's hard to find, in regular daily life, it's hard to find anybody to have a chat about underground metal and where it fits in, So yeah, during COVID, not having anybody else to be around really created a lot of tension and a little anger, and it shows up on that record a lot. So real excited about the natural progression of it all, but But as far as experience, I don't know. I don't think there's anything like putting out a record, worldwide. Like it's a pretty exciting feeling, and it is really like kind of giving birth. And I'm sure women will be mad about that because it's like giving birth without the pain.
Different pains altogether. Completely understand that. Anyways, you spoke about sharing the music, so let's give our listeners a taste of what Till the Dirt brings to the table. Which song at the moment best represents the band, and why?
Uh, well, there's a song called "Who Awaits" on the album that's really kind of indicative of the hybrid nature of the record. There's a lot of grungy overtones and stoner metal vibes, and you combine that with crazy blast beats and a lot of speed and ferociousness and brutality. It's all in there. There's poppy elements, not really poppy, but like dark pop elements, from time to time, and so it's something new. I mean, it's just different. I really can't describe it to people. I don't know really how to classify it for anybody. So I don't know that any one song really covers it. But "Who Awaits" or "Starring Role," those two songs are, they have everything that I love about this record within those songs. A lot of speed, a lot of melody and catchiness, harmony vocals and screams that sound like someone's being murdered. I mean, all of those elements that you love about metal, and heavy as fuck at the end of the day. I mean, it's always got to be heavy. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But it is tough to try to describe it to people. And I went through this with Atheist back in the day, trying what it is, and it's like, I understand that people need classifications, but it is frustrating, especially if you're trying to move the bar, so to speak, and do something
Yeah,
different.
that's true.
But
But for what it's worth, it's excellent music. So here it is.
Okay, I'm not sure where exactly I heard the term, but you did refer to it slightly earlier. So, which is death metal meets grunge, and you also added stoner. And I honestly feel that's a pretty apt description of Till the Dirt. What did you kind of think about having that? I mean, I'm sure there must have been a slight idea of kind of merging some of these sounds, but how did you finally kind of arrive at what the real sound for Till the Dirt was?
Again, like, so you would have to be familiar with. So I've had a dual musical life. So a lot of people that are familiar with my career with Atheist are not familiar with my career with Neurotica. So Neurotica was a band that I had in the late '90s and the early 2000s that we signed a big record deal with the WWE's Vince McMahon and that whole wrestling corporation. They started a record company and we signed it. We were the first band signed to that label. We did
Mm-hmm.
Ozfest in 2002. That band was very, that was the other side of my musical sort of palette. And so in that band I sang, and there was a little bit of screaming, but it was much different. It was more. I don't know. It was just definitely completely not technical. I mean, it was there were songs on the radio, and so for somebody that only knows me for Atheist to hear the Till the Dirt record and hear the vocals will think it's something that I just now just figured out how to do or whatever. But it's something I've always done. So it's just a perfect marriage of all of the things that I love about music. I love extreme, fast, crazy, brutal music, but I also love Sabbath and Caius and stoner metal and the slow groovy shit, and so just it was a natural progression for me. I found a canvas that allowed me to put all those colors on it and have them pop off where they needed to pop off. And I mean, I'd love to tell you that it was pre-calculated or anything, but it 100% came right out of just COVID frustration and the way music should come in a very natural way. So I just blended my styles together, and here we are.
Hmm. That's interesting. Neurotica, Atheist. You've written most of the material for Till the Dirt. Would you say that Till the Dirt is the best realization of your personality?
Hmm. Um, well, so here's the thing, and I've tried to condense this story, but it's my personality while drinking. You know what I mean? Like, so I wrote this whole album while while drinking alcohol as opposed to smoking pot. So the different headspace really kind of created the different music. And so with all the Atheist material, we always just smoked weed. We never drank or played together. So this being stuck at home and not, going out to drive, I think a lot of people started drinking a little more at home when we were locked down. And so that was a direct result in the more angry nature of this Till the Dirt record, I think. If you're you develop a courage that you don't typically have when you drink. Like you go out to a bar, you have a couple of drinks, you might, talk to a girl that you wouldn't normally talk to, or start a fight with somebody bigger than you, or you know what I mean? Like you have a courage, and so that
Yeah.
translates to the musical psyche as well. So I was willing to scream in ways that I normally wouldn't scream, and also willing to sing back to back to a screaming part where I would probably talk myself out of that in an Atheist song. So that different headspace, it opened different doors, and the result is this record. So I guess it's it's pretty indicative of me if I'm under the influence.
That's really interesting. Is there a particular point, is there a particular kind of alcohol that you've stuck
Yeah,
to for the entire Till the
yeah,
Dirt thing, or are you
yeah.
does each song experiment with a different kind of alcohol?
No, no Jaeger bombs, Jägermeister and Red Bull. That's my jam.
Oh,
I've been
damn.
drinking
Yeah.
that for 25 years. I've been drinking Jaeger bombs, and it's something it's an alcohol. I know exactly how much to drink to not get drunk. You know what I mean? To just feel good, to be happy, and take the edge off. So I never mixed a bunch of different kind of shots. I'm not really a beer guy either. So I just kind of I grab a bottle of Jaeger and a couple of Red Bulls, and off I go to songwriting land.
Holy shit. Listeners, you know what you're going to be drinking while you're listening to Till the Dirt. There you go. Alrighty.
That's
Now,
it.
Here's an interesting story. One of your first listeners that you sent out the album to or the riffs to, etc., was Scott Burns. So much so that you managed to bring him out of retirement. What was the feedback you heard from someone you worked with in the past? What did he tell you?
Uh, well, I mean, we had a really great discussion just about life and reconnecting after 20 years. We hadn't seen each other or talked to each other in a long time, and so we developed our reconnected friendship during COVID, and just talked about politics, and we agreed on just a lot of things, and so we had these great conversations. And at the end, I just kind of said, "Oh man, I've got got some new music as well," and he was like, "Oh, all right, and I said, "Can I send it to you?" And he's like, "Okay," and he sounded less than enthused about it, just because he didn't want to have to tell me that it sucked. That's why he told me that. So when I sent the demos, he was very encouraging, and it inspired me, and so each night I would write something different. I would send it to him the next day, and we would work on arrangements and on a couple of the songs, and then inevitably choosing the right songs for the record. And really, he was just cheerleading me through it in a way that was I just feel so lucky. I've always had so much respect for Scott and the work that he's done, and so he's a very tough guy to please. So I knew that if I could write songs that made him excited, that I was on the right track. And so that's really how it came together. But he didn't mix this record.
Hmm.
A guy named Ryan Vincent mixed this record, and so this is the first time I got to work with Scott on a producer level as opposed to an
Hmm.
engineer, a mix engineer. So yeah, I love him to death. I think he's one of the most valuable people in the history of this kind of music, and to have him on board, spearheading and helping me make it happen, couldn't be more grateful.
Another facet about Till the Dirt, and this is just a personal opinion. I mean, with extreme metal or with death metal, and with some of the work that you've done in the past with Atheist, listeners may choose to listen to the vocals as just another instrument of sorts and not really pay attention to the lyrics. That really isn't the case with Till the Dirt, because your vocals and even the lyrical style, they remain as distinct and distinguished as ever. But I'd like to understand, or help us understand, how do you approach Till the Dirt as a vocalist and lyricist? Is there some sort of space that this band and this outfit allows you to play in that you couldn't really play in with your previous outfits?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up because it's in with Atheist, there's always for me a lyrical just a difference. So with Till the Dirt, I was able to really write about, or I ended up writing about. It's not like I couldn't do whatever, I couldn't write about whatever I want to write about, but I automatically gravitated to stuff that was more personal. Just
Hmm.
again because I was feeling like I was feeling like if I don't think I've been smoking for a really long time. So there's a period of time that I thought, what if I get fucking COVID and die? You know what I mean? And I have a 6-year-old little boy. At the time, he was only 3. And so I was just like, wow, this is a respiratory issue. I lost a lot of friends, a half a dozen friends that were way healthier than me during that time. And because of the unknown nature of it, I think it created this urgency. And so lyrically, I wrote a song called Watch You Grow Old. I think it's the last song on the album. And it's just about, wanting to be able to watch my little boy grow up and at least graduate high school, get married. And that's something I would never write about with an Atheist song, and there's a song called Invitation that during that COVID period there was a lot of frustration with the whole Trump shit and the presidency, and there was just a political fire going on here, and I was just so angry about it. And so that's something, not that I guess we dabbled in a little bit of politics with Atheists, but this was a more of a direct, less vague approach to lyrics that I again wouldn't probably have used in any of the other bands. And yeah, just maybe just a little more personal side as opposed to just keeping it with Atheists. It's always been very, I like to leave it for everybody else's interpretation.
Hmm.
I like to write things in a very vague way, so so it can mean multiple things for different people. But I think that it's a little more literal with Till the Dirt lyrically.
And what about as a vocalist? Definitely, when you listen to the songs, you're one gets the feeling that you're playing around a bit more, you're doing different things at different times. It's not just the distinguished signature scream
Right.
as such throughout, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that I'm able to explore probably 4 or 5 different voices on this record. And, there's thing again, and the things that I haven't been able to do or maybe haven't yet done vocally, not that I couldn't have done before, but I just found a space for them within this music and that time period. And while it was happening, while the songs were being written, I definitely wrote as much as I could. I logged in 25 songs that I feel like are 100% indicative of the way I felt writing this particular record. So the cool thing is, there won't be a sophomore slump with Till the Dirt. I've got a whole nother record that feels just like this, but a little different, right behind this, and that's exciting as well. It's something I've never really, with Atheist, we just wrote, there were no extra songs with Atheist ever. That was everything we've ever written is out. There's no old demos or anything like that. So this is a very prolific writing sort of scenario for me, and it's a lot of fun now to pull in some great musicians to carry this on. It's only going to get better, better and better, and so I tripped, fell, and landed in a second band. I didn't mean to, but here we are.
And this question also stems from you recently got off tour with Cynic, with Atheist. So does this also leave you time to tour with Till the Dirt? Is that something that you're planning somewhere down the line? What can you
100%.
share? So, okay.
Yeah, one of the things about Till the Dirt is it's a very modern sort of metal band. So I think the opportunities to tour with a lot of different kinds of bands that Atheists will never be able to tour with, that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, 100%. I've got a great band in place, and we just released a playthrough from Ian Way today on YouTube. So please go check that out for Starring Roll. And then in a couple of weeks, when the album comes out, the third single comes out, and that has Jeff Loomis on it. And we have a really fantastic lyric video coming out for that. And it's called Privilege. And so, yeah, I hope that, people like the record enough for us to have the opportunity to go and tour. But there's plenty of time for both. I know we have a lot of stuff planned for next year with Atheist, and also a new album by the end of next year from Atheist as well. And
Whoa.
And rest assured, for all the purists out there, don't worry. I know how to separate church and state. I know the different headspace it required. Like, the Atheist will sound nothing like Till the Dirt, I promise you.
But okay, so you kind of walked into the next question, right? And Animesh and I are huge Atheist fans, actually, in case you didn't realize. But I mean, you mentioned at the start, and you just brought it up also with the album. I mean, I read in a previous interview that you've recorded over 3 hours of guitars for Atheist, and you said that you didn't start with an intention of a new album, right? So what was the mindset? What can you share about the Atheist album? We're very curious to hear more about that.
So when writing Atheist riffs, I write in a different guitar tuning. Mm-hmm. So the guitar tuning automatically makes you write differently. So it's harder to be heavy when you're tuned to 440E, if you tune your guitar way down, or if you have a 7-string, you can just go jum, 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 and you know what I mean? You can just, that's how gent became popular. You're just going jum, 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 jum. Yep. But there's a lot of articulation and there's an arpeggiated nature to Atheist. I know exactly how I know how to write. I automatically write like that when I'm in that tuning. So when I tune down, I start writing for other stuff like Till the Dirt. So, that's really, it's really as simple as that. I just know exactly, I can tell when something is an Atheist riff, and I just need people to trust me. There was a time when we did Elements, that, I had to bring in a lot of different minds coming away from the original lineup, but it was still an interesting record. You know what I mean? So, just trust that I know what an Atheist record should sound like, and I know what the next one will sound like. And I'm going to take, some really, really talented young minds and work with them like colors and paintbrushes and create an amazing painting that'll be, what everybody really the things that people really love about Atheist. That's my goal. But I don't like to set out and try to think about, what it's going to be like or anything. I just know that I just definitely want to, if anything, just go up, not worry about going over the top, and then making it really just sizzling, interesting, complex, and just feel like we have a freedom to make any kind of record that we want. And but it's going to be busy and interesting at minimum.
Fucking, that's awesome. So you've got Till the Dirt coming out this year. Hopefully, a new Atheist coming out next year. Definitely a busy time for you.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever see a concert or a gig where both bands play the same gig and you have to pull double vocal duty?
Oh man, I won't say never, but man, that would kick my ass.
That's a challenge, right
Yeah.
there.
If it was in 2 different days, then that would be cool. Yes, that would be possible. So yeah, I can see that happen at a festival or something like that. I mean, 3 of the guys that are in Atheist with me now are in Till the Dirt with me. So yeah, like that would be extremely possible. Ian Way and Alex Haddad. Alex Haddad is with us in Atheist, and Ian Way is the other person who's with us in Till the Dirt. So yeah, that could actually happen, but I definitely wouldn't want to do it like in the same day. It would kick my, that's a lot of singing, man. I don't know, a lot of screaming and a lot of different, but 2 different vibes too, two different headspaces that I need to be in. But yeah, that would be kind of fun. I just hope people will, just allow themselves to get something different from me. I mean, just get, I think if anybody sits down with a record, I mean, what do you guys? I mean, you guys have been listening to Atheist for a while. What do you think of the record? And you can tell me. I mean, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
No. I mean, so obviously the headspace and the riffs, etc., are so different. The music is so different. But I think honestly, if you've been a fan of Atheist, and this comes from like just a personal opinion, that like to me it's not just the music in Atheist, but it's your vocals that make Atheist as such, right? We can feel your identity in it, and that identity definitely has come into Till the Dirt, and that automatically makes it a far more engaging listen. And you're looking for that kind of a filter, so that's the filter I've used for the stuff that I've heard so far. I will be diving into the album in detail too, for some of the latter half of the songs. I haven't managed to do that yet, but at the moment, it's definitely not just your average run-of-the-mill modern metal band,
I'll
and
take it.
that's largely because of your vocal style, because
Thank you.
you have the experience, and that shows.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate your honesty.
Peter, what about you? What did you think about Till the Dirt?
Oh man, I was really excited. I mean, like, just for the record, I have to get this out there. I didn't mind elements as much as people run it down. I mean, you have to be in a complete different headspace for it, and I think it's the similar thing, right? I mean, if you go with the mindset that, hey, this is another personality of yours, Kelly, then it's the right approach. If you're expecting, like, I don't know,
if you're expecting Atheist listening to Till the Dirt, then honestly, not, like, right? Go back and listen to more Atheist itself.
Yeah. So I think that was one of the things. But I mean, I get that, and forgive me for using the term, but there's that like more party vibe to it. I mean, like if you had like if Atheist and Till the Dirt were 2 brothers, Atheist would be the kind of nerdy, sit in your room kind of thing. Till the Dirt's the more party, let's get
he
out
said
there,
it best, right? Alcohol versus weed.
So it kind of meets that kind of thing. Or a similar analogy I would use is that when you're putting your music, like when you're setting up your playlist of sorts for the day, Atheist goes like later on towards the day, but like your early wake me up, kickstart kind of thing is Till the Dirt. That's what I've been doing with it, right? So for me, it's become synonymous with that. I've been listening to it in the mornings. So that's what I've kind of associated it with.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I've been waiting a long time to hear some feedback. So it's nice to flip the script on you for a minute and ask you a question.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. I can't believe we actually discussed music with Kelly Shaefer.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Guys, go and check out Till the Dirt. And once you're done, come and discuss it with us. We are at hornsupod.com or on Twitter at hornsupod. I'm at Asmoani.
I'm at Trend Crusher.
And this was Horns Up.
Horns up, guys.
Thank you, guys.